where you knew that you were supposed to be doing what you were doing in that moment, that you were where you belonged? Have you had that experience? For me, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, good friends, and my family, and honored guests, that happened to me in April of 2012 when I came to visit this club for the first time. I was home. I joined very quickly, and I soon signed up for my icebreaker speech. It was called One Thing Leads to Another. And it was about how, in retrospect, it seemed that all of the events in my life had lined up for me to come to Toastmasters. And now, 3.5 years later, here I am giving my final speech for my Distinguished Toastmaster Award. It has been a frabjous journey. As I've reflected on it, I've picked out 3 critical events in my Toastmasters path that I want to share with you. First, you mentioned you like to compete. Well, in 2012, I had a very funny story, and true story, about riding a bike down a volcano in Hawaii on my honeymoon. I carefully scripted out every funny detail and had that speech well under control. I managed to win the club contest. I even won the area contest. And I advanced to the division contest, which is happening this Wednesday night, by the way. Unfortunately, this would be the last trophy that I would ever earn, at least so far. Because at the division contest, as I was nearing that 7-minute mark, I saw that red light come on. I saw my husband going, trying to get me to stop, but I kept going because I knew exactly what I had to say, and by golly, I was going to say it all, and I thought if I talked really, really fast, I could get it all in before that 30-second grace period was over. But I was wrong. I went over time, and I was disqualified. That experience taught me 2 things. Number 1, I have to know when it's time to stop talking. Number 2, sometimes those rigid plans, right, Marcy? Sometimes those rigid plans are not the best. And we have to be flexible enough to switch gears midstream, change direction to fit the circumstances. My next pivotal experience was attending my first district Toastmasters conference. I had been a Toastmaster here in this club for about a year, and I loved this club. I still do. Love this club. It was great. It was everything I wanted it to be. But I heard about this district conference, and I got this little nudge inside of me. Helen, you should go to this. So I did. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what to expect, but I went. What I found when I got there was this group of incredibly friendly, encouraging, warm people. It was like I had walked into a big family reunion. And immediately upon my arrival, they embraced me and adopted me as a member of their family. I knew that I was connected not just to my fellow Raleigh Club members, but to thousands of Toastmasters in this state. And I got a glimpse of the fact that I was connected to hundreds of thousands of Toastmasters across the world. And that felt good. I was hooked. and I have not missed a district conference since. One other event at that conference happened to me that was really quite pivotal and important in my Toastmasters career. That happened at the Saturday night banquet. All the Toastmasters dressed up in their finest gala dresses and suits and ties or tuxes. Everyone was all fancy. And I got as fancy as I could and I watched. After dinner, this celebratory music started playing. And all of this group of people started lining up at the front of the room. I found out they were people who already had earned their Distinguished Toastmaster Award. We're going to call them DTMs. This line of DTMs. Then I heard the voice of Naomi Takeuchi, who was the district governor at that time. She started, one by one, calling out the names of the people who had just recently earned their DTMs. And one by one, they all came up, and they ran the gauntlet. Work with me here. And I said to myself, as my eyes were wide and all of my senses were so stimulated, I said, I want that. When I got back from that conference, I pulled out my Competent Communicator Manual and I studied the requirements to earn DTM. I laid out a plan to earn my Distinguished Toastmaster Award by Fall Conference 2015. Unfortunately, that plan, carefully crafted, did leave me in a couple of tight spots when I was serving simultaneously as the Raleigh Club president, the Area 82 governor, and the co-event planner for the 2015 Spring Conference. It was a challenge and a question of my sanity. I know my family certainly questioned it. But I got to the other side, not because of me, because of all of you. Toastmasters, this big family, they work together. They get things done, and they make things happen. Well, here I am, almost finished with my final speech for earning Distinguished Toastmaster. So what's next? What's next for you, Helen? Well, for me, it's more of the same. I want more of this. I want more of you. And just like you all helped support me to reach my goals, I want to help you reach your goals through excellent communication skills. We can do that together through communication, through fellowship, through Toastmasters. When I earned my Competent Communicator Award, this club presented me with this mug. And on the back of it is a quote that I really like by Dr. Ralph Smedley, the founder of Toastmasters International. It says, "Understanding comes through communication. And through communication, we find the way to peace." That quote really spoke to me. Does it speak to you? I'm still on this journey. I want you to come with me. Are you with me?
Yeah.
All right, here's to Toastmasters. Let's continue on this journey. It's only the beginning. Mr. Toastmaster.